Today's Toy Spot, we'll be having a look at the new NECA Toys Batman Arkham City Harley Quinn. Seven-inch rendition of Harley Quinn comes included with a baseball bat, a small machine gun, and a pair of interchangeable hands. Spot picked this up at the same time he picked up the Batman Begins Batman, so we've just had a look at him. Now we're going to be having a look at the Harley Quinn. And then again, these are very sporadic releases. Sometimes we'll get, two figures. A lot of cases we got the Christopher Reeve and Adam West Batman, I think around the same time. Joker came out around that same time as well. And then we get, now the Harley Quinn and Batman Begins. But hopefully we do get more of these as NECA continues to, to kind of get their licensing for some of these characters. Down below, there's an image there of Harley Quinn. I really do like the box artwork here. The side of the box also shows what the figure is going to look like with weapons in hand. And the back of the package says, an Arkham Asylum psychiatrist assigned to treat the Joker, Dr. Harleen Frances Quinzel, instead became obsessively fixated on her patient, believing herself to be in love with him. She helped him escape confinement and took her own criminal identity as Harley Quinn. Quinn is a violent and unpredictable felon whose only motivation is achieving the Joker's approval. Because of this, his cruel and mercurial, that's an interesting word, mercurial nature, this in some ways makes her just another of his victims, albeit a very dangerous one. Since the Joker's Titan overdose in Arkham Asylum, Harley's mind has further deteriorated. She is blindly determined to put a smile back on his face. It includes 4 interchangeable hands, 2 machine guns actually, and a baseball bat. To check out more from the folks over at NECA Toys, make sure you head over to www.necaonline.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Batman Arkham Knight. We'll be looking at, or actually Arkham City, I should say. We'll be looking at Harley Quinn. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Let's go ahead and run through the accessories that come included with Harley Quinn. For starters, she comes with a baseball bat. The baseball bat's pretty good, although I do feel like the red it doesn't look like it's finished properly. It's been airbrushed or painted over the white, or the white and the red have been shared over top of one plastic. But the red almost kind of seems like it's slightly unfinished. Don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. For some reason, it also feels like it's translucent. I know it's not translucent at all, but it kind of looks like it should be see-through. It's got like a candy cane coloring of this creamish white as well as the red. The handle has been painted nicely, though. It's been painted with the brown, bringing forth some of the little spindles there on the baseball bat handle. All around, baseball bat is okay. At least it is painted, though. She does also come with a pair of machine guns, not one, but 2, and identical to one another. Painted solely in black. There's no additional coloring or anything that's been added to it. Solely just the black. The clips are not obviously removable as well. They're just sculpted into place. Then, for good measures, you also get yourself a pair of interchangeable hands as well. Her hands currently are defaulted as partially closed fists for holding the bats or machine guns. Now, she does also have like a kind of gestured hand, which you can see also they painted in the nails, a nice touch there. And she has a, again, partially opened hand as well, which really isn't that far off from the hand that is actually in her current wrist socket, other than the fact that this one is just a little bit more closed shut, lending itself likely more so to the baseball bat. Go ahead and put the baseball bat in. Yes, it is a very tight fit, so we want to just replace that hand out with the hand that we just looked at. Plug that into place, and then we can go ahead and get the baseball bat in there. Now, to accommodate that, you're going to have to just spread the fingers ever so slightly just to get the bat into place, and there you go. You got the bat now in her hand. A preference only, I probably would lean more towards having a bat in her hand rather than the submachine guns or the little machine guns that she's got there. Or, again, you can swap that back in and then go ahead and put the machine guns into her hand very nicely and snugly. Go ahead and do the same on the other side. At least her fingers are rubbery enough that you don't really have to struggle too much getting her hands over the handles. I guess really as a whole, that's a good look for her as well, having machine guns in her hand. And there's the back of the figure right there. All right, so we're just going to move all the accessories to the side. We'll also move her machine guns out of the way as well. Let's have a look at the figure. All right, just straighten everything up. There we go. Let's start at the face. We'll work our way down. Kind of dissect how this figure came out. Truthfully speaking, it's not a bad Harley Quinn, but it's not a great Harley Quinn either. The coloring is great. All right, let me rephrase that. The coloring is good on areas such as her hair. Her outfit is very good with the cranberry and the black. I tell you this though, the skin tone seems a bit off. Just a slight bit off. I'm going to bring in the package. Spot doesn't normally bring in packaging referencing, but you can see how she looks on the package. A somewhat pale tone of skin color. And then the figure itself, you can see next to it, is a very, very reddish color. It almost looks like she's got a slight sunburn versus the more paler complexion. This, I think, is a much nicer skin tone. I really wish that the figure had that. Instead, this rosy tone of her flesh color, I think it's just a little off, to be honest. Her face, let's again have a look at her face. Her face isn't bad, but it's not mind-blowing either. You know, it's a decent enough sculpt. I find the makeup that they've put on her face is slightly, I don't want to say metallic, but it does not read as much as a not pastel, but more like a makeup that's been applied. It comes across almost as if it's slightly a pearl color rather than a white color. I don't think it personally works on Harley Quinn. I wish that they had gone with a more whiter face paint rather than the color that they used here. It almost has a slight glitter effect to it. I know which is not the case, but it does slightly look like it's got a little bit of glitter going to it as well. I wish that she had a smile or some notable expression. And Harley Quinn figures always, not a lot of times, but the ones that do have hair, they always seem to mask. The hair goes right over the really good sculpts. I think the sculpt is decent, but the hair covers so much of it. I find myself kind of doing this a lot of times, just moving the hair out of the way. The eyes are also painted nicely. And I kind of just wish that there was more of an expression on her face. It just seems such a very subtle, almost non-expression. Well, it has no expression at all on her face. It's a very just sublime expression. It is to note as well that her pigtails can actually be displayed or posed. So you can kind of bring them forward. Maybe that's a little too much. You can bring them back. Again, just depending on how you want to have her displayed. The packaging has it more so kind of facing back as opposed to straight out. Kind of maybe takes a little bit. Oh, it takes. I think having the hair down right on the sides kind of just makes this a very large facial area, even though her face is only like this big. I find bringing the pigtails slightly back, I find slightly helps. Makes it, she looks a little bit more feminine, I think, looking like that. I do like how the pigtails are dipped in the black and the corresponding red, again, like the game. And she's got lots of tattoos as well. A tattoo on her arm, and as well the big notable one, she's got the tattoo right by her belly button. Like, there's loads of detail to this. An actual real chain that comes down from the belt. Again, the cranberry and the black, very nice. The only real nitpick I could make is really the face sculpt. I wish there was a little bit more of an expression. The tone of her skin tone, I wish it wasn't as warm, and probably more gearing towards a lighter tone, a more paler tone. And, you know, again, I wish there was more of an expression on her face. But the rest of the figure, though, as it almost seems like Spot's dissected the entire figure, but really, it's the tone, it's really just the skin tone that bothers me, and like the face. You know, if the face was just maybe even more pastel, more of a more pastel white, I think I would like it a little bit more. But I do like the rest of the figure quite a bit. All the washing as well. Let me just move the arms out of the way. Like tons of details. I can't fault NECA for sculpts because their sculpts are always bang on. Little bustier top there as well. I love, again, the real working chain. It's the back of the figure. Yeah, great looking figure, just little iffy. Little iffy on the skin tone that they used, and again, a little iffy on the face. When it comes to her posability, her head is on a ball joint, so I do like that. And maybe even slightly angling the head can kind of give her a little bit more of a playful Harley Quinn look rather than having it just straight on. Might ultimately just display her with the head slightly tilted. I think it might compensate a little bit. That side profile looks good on her. The front on, not as much. Shoulders hinge out, fairly easy enough. A rotation all the way around on the shoulders. She does have also a bend at the elbow. A rotation on the forearm, as well as a rotation on the wrists. The torso is considerably ball jointed. Lots of motion and movement there. And it's actually ball jointed right underneath the actual the bustier top, or the booster halter top, or I guess the bust top there. So it's nicely concealed. You don't see it, but it does the job very well. The legs, a little bit more limited. You can't really move the legs forward and back all that much because it's so constricted by the lower torso. You can get a good split on the leg, but you can't really do too much forward and back. She does have a bend at the knee, which allows also the lower leg to rotate. And she also has a ball joint in the foot with also an ankle pivot. All around, good figure. Not great figure, a good figure. I think if you kind of add up everything, head to toe, and you round it up by the averages would say that this is a great figure because the body is good. The only nitpicks for me is the skin tone, and the face I think could have been just a little bit better. But I do like this Harley Quinn, despite what may seem like a review in which Spot nitpicked it. I really didn't nitpick it. I only nitpicked elements of it. Elements. Overall, though, I do like the figure quite a bit. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the brand new NECA toys. This is Batman Arkham City, even though technically I called it Arkham Knight. Arkham City, and this was Harley Quinn. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.